Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to if you're new. My name is Kylie. If you are new, hello, welcome. Stay a while. It's gonna be great here, you know? As you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be helping you prepare to take your board exam. These are just some of the things that I did that helped me get to the point of passing that exam, because I mean, it's a lot of work and a lot of people need extra help or extra tutoring. I just thought I would get on here and help people who are like me, who are awful at studying, can never do it for long periods of time, who have a very, very hard time taking tests, especially important tests like that. So yeah, I'm gonna be telling you guys how I prepared and how I ended up passing my exam. So like any exam, you're not allowed to speak about what you had on the exam. Of course, I completely agree with that. I did not just go through all of this to tell you guys exactly what was on the exam. There's way too many questions anyway for me to do that. And if I had a great memory like that to even remember everything that was on that exam, I probably would have got a 100 on it. You know what I'm saying? We won't be doing any of that, but I'll, yeah, once again, be telling you how I ended up preparing myself and passing the exam. I wrote down a few pointers to talk about. Can you see it? Probably not. I wrote down a few things to talk about that helped me prepare to take my board exam. It might not help everybody and there might be other things that I'm missing, but these are some of the things that helped me greatly into passing that exam. So for the first one I have on my little list here, I have keep your old textbooks. I know a lot of people, once you're done with a class, especially if the class was like unbearably hard and you end up passing it, whatever grade it was, you're like, I'd never want to look at this textbook again. And I completely agree. Before this program, I can't even tell you any of the books I've ever had, where they are now, what life is like for them, because they're just gone. I don't recall throwing them away, but they're just not in my room anymore, you know? It is important for a program where you're gonna be taking a, sorry I spit, taking a big exam or test at the end of it to keep the textbooks. You can go back and relearn concepts or subjects that just weren't sticking well when you were first brought into it. That was a very hard thing for me, especially the physics part of X-ray. So having all my physics books and the pathology books to help me kind of like relearn everything again, in a sense, was extremely helpful. If you're preparing to take this exam, I hope you kept your textbooks, because going back and reading all of that was extremely helpful for me. So yeah, keep your textbooks and go over some of that stuff that you just need a little refresher on. For my second point, I have to ask questions. I feel like in school, when you're around a bunch of people, you get kind of like shy and like embarrassed when you have a lot of questions. I'm definitely that type of person too that just doesn't ask questions. Maybe at the end I'll ask questions or email them privately, or even ask my peers in my class how they ended up coming up with the answer, or how they are just having it stick in their head, whether it be like just memory or just a little rhyme or something. Asking your peers how they are understanding something as opposed to asking your professor or teacher is two different things, you know, because the professors have been teaching it forever and they just know the concept, so it's easy for them to teach it and kind of like not really remember what it was like to be a student and just having this all thrown at you all at once. So asking peers who are learning this at the same time as you and asking them how they are understanding it and making it stick is extremely important. So you should do that as well. Sorry, I'm talking too fast. There is no stupid question in this. A lot of people just have a harder time understanding things, and a lot of people just get it like off rip. If you ask enough people, someone's gonna give you a way that they learned that is gonna stick with you, and it's gonna be extremely helpful. So I advise you to ask a ton of questions. My third point was tutoring. I have never been a stay after school and ask for help type of person. I've never done that. I've just never cared about school that much until I got into this program. But tutoring, I mean, that's back to the whole embarrassed to ask questions. You don't want to feel dumb and things like that. Asking questions again is extremely important. Sometimes one-on-one with a professor or peer, or even a person who just has taken this exam before or understands the concepts or the subjects that you're trying to learn can be helpful. It's one-on-one as opposed to like 20 other people around you. So that's more for the people who are a little shy to ask questions and stuff like that. One-on-one with somebody is so important and nice for the person who's struggling a little bit with a concept or subject. That's gonna be my 2 words that I say so much. Concept and subject. Sitting one-on-one with a professor or peer or a tech who already has taken the exam is a little easier than teaching a bunch of people at once. You can just get to what you are struggling with, you know? So, I mean, if everybody has a bunch of questions, it's harder for you to get past. It's harder for other people who already know the concept to just like sit here and re-listen to it over and over again. So tutoring one-on-one, or even with like maybe a few other people who are coming in because they are having the same issues with that one part of the lesson that you were having an issue with. Being around people who are also struggling with the same concept, it will help you guys kind of like come up with something to help each other and yourselves learn, you know? So tutoring is very, very important. Please go get tutored if you are having any problems at all. For my 4th one, this one is this was the hardest thing for me to like understand and grasp. You have to make time to study. I know. You're not gonna just know it. You have to study, guys. Who knew? Studying and like learning something over and over again was so annoying. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I just want to know it. Like I'll read it one time, I'm like, okay, cool, I'll remember that. But you have to make time to study. Especially towards the end, before taking that exam, you have to make time to go over everything again, make sure you know all of it again. And what I personally did was I made time every day to study. I graduated in February and I took my exam at the end of March. I had like 4 weeks to study, and every single day for like at least 2 hours a day, I was studying. Some days I would like be studying, and I like the subject, so I'm like going ham on it, just like trying to grasp concepts that I wasn't getting before, and I would look at the clock and it's like 5 hours later. So I think at least 2 hours, up to like 5 if you can. Don't do it all in one sitting. I know I took plenty of breaks. I took like naps in between. I was eating. You have to feel alive. Go outside and take a walk, because this is a whole lot of information to learn, and studying for a long period of time with no breaks, you start to kind of like not focus on what you're learning. For me anyway. I know some people are really good at studying and can do it way longer than me. 2 hours was my make some time to study. I know a lot of people are working, and a lot of people in my class were working, had full-time jobs, or well, they weren't doing full-time at that point because we were in school a lot. Part-time, full-time, whatever it was, kids and stuff like that. And I know with the whole COVID situation too, like not having a job and then having to study, like there was so much stress going on, and trust me, I was in there. But in the long run, you have to think about where you're gonna be at a year from now. So in a year from now, I wanted to be in my career field. I wanted to be doing what I love to do. I just kept thinking about that, and I'm like, if I pass this exam, I can get out of serving, because I hated serving. And that industry is just a whole nother freaking, ugh, I just went on a tangent. I'm so sorry. Study for 2 to 3 hours a day. If you can do more, please do more. For my 5th bullet, I have Rad Tech Bootcamp. Now, when I tell y'all, this helped me so much. It's crazy. Unfortunately, nothing in life is free, guys. So I had to pay for, I did a 30-day trial for it. I got it on February 19th, and then I got my exam on the 18th of March. So I literally had 30 days. I was on that thing. This is how I kind of studied majority of the time. That website saw me every single day. It is such a great website. Like, I wish school would have told me about the website. I actually found this website through another person on YouTube. I'm not sure her name at all, but she said that it helped her out so much for passing her exam. So I was like, I need this, I'm gonna get it. I paid 60 bucks, and I'm glad I did, because in the long run, if I would have failed this exam, I would have paid another like 250 bucks to set up an appointment to go, and so it just made sense for me. This website was extremely helpful for me, because it broke down every single concept that X-ray has, like every single one that is known in this study or in this career field is in that website. It teaches you everything from positioning to all the way down to like the little particles and I'm awful at explaining this. If you're in the program, or if you're planning on taking it, just know it teaches you everything that you need to know about X-ray, basically. So it was extremely helpful. It came with practice tests. It came with videos explaining everything, which I am such a very visual learner. I need to see what's going on. I like to be, and then writing things down. That website was, whoever invented it, bless you, child, because wow, that was so extremely helpful. I feel like if it wasn't for that website, I probably wouldn't have passed. So thank you, Red Tech Bootcamp. This one's for you. For my last bullet point, I have the Lang Q&A examination practice test book. In this book, it has, I don't even know how many questions are in that book, but it basically gives you practice exams. It has 200 questions, and then you answer them, you take it like an actual test, and then after the 200 questions, the next few pages are the answers to the questions and the reason why it's the correct answer, which is extremely helpful. Like, you can tell me the answer all day, but like if I thought it was a different answer, I need you to explain to me why that is the answer, which Lang is super awesome for that too. I think the week before my actual exam, I did a practice test at least once a day. You just have to have a lot of time to study. Again, that was part of my studying that I did every single day, and it was extremely helpful, especially the fact that it just gave you the answers and the reason why it was the correct answer. So yeah, that book was also extremely helpful for me grasping the knowledge, the concepts and everything like that, subjects, whatever, you know, concepts, subjects, the same things over and over again. But yeah, so yeah, that is how I prepared myself to take my RT exam. Here I am today. I started my job, my big girl job yesterday, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to just learn more, do better. I plan on going back to school in the fall for my bachelor's in it too, so we're getting somewhere. I'm excited. I'm happy to be doing something that I am just so interested in, because not a lot of people get that luxury, you know? So I advise you to use my tips and tricks to pass your exam, and if you're thinking about taking it, you should do it. But yeah, I hope this helped you guys out so much with learning tips and tricks on how I pass my exam, and hopefully I said something that could potentially help you pass your exam. Thinking about getting in the program, I highly recommend. I've learned so much, I met a lot of people, and it was honestly the funnest experience for me anyway. And for someone who doesn't like school or studying or anything to do with knowledge, it was a great time for me. But yeah, that is all I have for you guys in this video. I hope I helped you. I hope you learned something, and yeah, subscribe if you'd like to see more from me. Like this video if it helped you out any, and I will see you guys in my next video.